Hello, everybody. Nice to see you today. My name is June Leindecker, and I'm with Red Daisy Crafts. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of San Antonio, Texas, and I'm excited to be here with you today to unbox the Mountain Majesties. It arrived today. Just after I sent out my notice to let everybody know that I was going to be going live today. And I said that we were going to be doing inked occasions again. However, because I have my kit, I definitely want to unbox that with you today. So super excited about that. So we are in the June subscription period for Paper Pumpkin, and the June kit is called Full of Charm. It looks absolutely beautiful, and I love the colors of it. So this is the sneak peek photo that we have of that kit. And we'll also probably be using several of the dies that are this quarter's die set, which is Hugs a Bloom dies add-on. So if you don't have those dies yet, you definitely want to take advantage of getting those. So super excited to unbox this kit with you. I haven't taken a look at it. I haven't even seen a video. So we are surprisingly going at it without having seen anything. So we're going to get to it together, and I'm going to put you down to the table. So thanks everybody for joining. It's great to have you here, and I hope that you'll stick around and see what this Mountain Majesties is all about. So it does say that it does have a Father's Day slant, but as you know, like, not everything Father's Day has to be mountains. So mountains can be other things, and I'm excited about that. There are 9 cards, 3 of 3 different designs. It's going to include vellum, paper die cuts, watercolor card bases, coordinating envelopes. And the colors that coordinate with this kit are Basic Black, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, which the Stampin' Spot is Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, and Petal Pink. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so as I said, I have not even opened up this kit. So we have our stamps as usual, and they're very hard to see, but there'll be a black and white image of them inside here. So we have our Misty Moonlight Stampin' Spot, and so we will cut that open and use that. So let's just take out our kit from the tissue paper. Oh, I am loving what I am seeing, folks. I am absolutely loving the watercolor that I'm seeing. So I usually just fold my little tissue back up in my box like that. Eventually I take it out, and I do have a pile of paper pumpkin tissue, and I occasionally use it for gifts or whatever. Sometimes I use it in my crafts, even my card making. So let's see here what we have, and I'm gonna get that out. And then also on the flip side is where they put our instructions and that black and white copy of the stamp images. So if you're new to Paper Pumpkin, then you when you get your Paper Pumpkin, it always comes wrapped in tissue, and you get a full color instructions. And so here's the instructions and the cards that the kit is intended to make. So these look pretty simple from what I can tell. And so you get a full color instructions with every kit. You get everything you need in the kit to create the cards. So all the adhesive. The only time that you might need something else is if you need a pair of paper snips. And I do like to use a bone folder to burnish my score lines. and get a good fold on our card bases. So, hey Wanda, thanks for joining. So we do have so inside is all the instructions, but right here are just the elements for each of the cards. So as I'm going through and showing you that, I'm going to pull out the stuff so we can make the cards that is in this kit. So looks like we have quite a lot of sentiments again this month, and it looks to be maybe only 1 or 2 images actually of some birds, and I'm trying to see what is the best way to show this to you. So so looks like this is one stamp over here, and then this is all another stamp of flying birds. And so then we have sentiments. You mean the world to me. To a wonderful man. I love you, best dad ever. You're the greatest. Happy Father's Day and happy birthday. So as you can see, these do not only have to be Father's Day. And I think they're going to be a lot of fun to see what we can create from an alternate standpoint. So we have some tear and tape here that they have provided. It doesn't look like a lot of tear and tape, so I don't know if we just don't use a lot of it in here. We have some coordinating envelopes, and I am loving that there appears to be 3 different styles here, very similar, but different colors. So I'm going to guess that this is Lost Lagoon. This looks like Misty Moonlight, and then we have the petal pink. So very pretty. They're white on the inside, but we have this extra material that we can use if we choose not to use these as envelopes and bring them into our alternates. So for now, I'm just going to bring out one of each of these. So like I said, we're going to create at least one of the cards that we have in the kit. So we also have 3 of these vellum sheets. So I'm going to put 2 aside, and I'm going to pop out this one. So looks like this one goes over here. And this one goes with this one here. So then you do have a little piece of vellum here. I don't know, maybe we can use this for something. So I'm not going to get rid of it at this point. We have a full sheet of dimensionals here. So looks like we're going to be dimensionaling lots of pieces. So we have that. We have a little thing of labels here. So looks like we have 5 that are more like well, they're all rectangles, but a bigger rectangle. And then we have a skinnier rectangle. We have 5 of those. So we have at least apparently some extra of these, it seems, because there's not 9. Or I guess we have 10 total. So I don't know. We'll see what the plan is for that. So what does these cards call for? So from what I can tell, we are going to put one on this piece here, and we're going to take one of these larger pieces, and I'm going to set it there. Looks like that's all we need off of here. So now we're getting to the card bases. These are beautiful and so easy for you to cut these down and have immediately 2 cards out of one card base. So this one, I'm going to put right there. So that's the first card base. And then, oh, we have more vellum. All right, so let's see. We have 2 of these, I'm guessing. They want to just come apart. Yes, so 2 of these. So let's see here. Looks like this one is going to go with that. And this piece, it looks like it's going here. Again, I'm going to save my little pieces for now until I figure that out. Here is another card base. Oh, I am loving these card bases. They're so pretty. I love the colors. So this is going to go right here. And then let's see. Oh, we got more vellum. Or no, this is not vellum. These are printed die cut pieces. And it looks like we have 3 of these as well. And so let's see here. This one is going to go with this piece of vellum. And looks like this one as well is going to go with that. Now this piece here, I believe is going to go with this, as well as this piece here. So again, these little pieces may come in handy for alternates. And then we have our third card base. And again, immediately I could say that you could do 18 cards with this kit. You know, all things considered, because you could cut each of these card bases to have at least 2 card fronts. So this one is going to go with that. So let's see what else we have in here. And so it looks like we have 3 of these pieces of die cuts. So here's one of, oh, that's why we didn't have all the sentiment labels that I was thinking. So we have a pre-printed sentiment here that says, "Thank you for being the person you are." So that is going to go with that piece there. This is a die cut of some trees, basically like silhouette of trees. Let's see here. Just try not to tear anything. All right, so that looks like it's going to go with that one. And this one as well is going to go with that one. So lots of layers here. Lots of layers happening in this kit. So, all right. So I think we have our 3 pieces laid out. Now, I do think that this is going to go in this direction. Let's see here. I think that this card would go better with that envelope and this card with this envelope. So I am just going to move these around and get them out of the way so we can begin to put our first card together. So like I said, you get a full set of instructions. Looks like we're going to do some stamping of the birds and a sentiment. And then we're going to use dimensionals and the tear and tape to layer things on to the card. So a lot of dimension going on here. And yeah, I think these are going to be gorgeous. So let's see here. So here is our stamps. And so this one is, they want Happy Father's Day. So let's get that stamp out. And we'll get this ready to go. I have my cardboard base that I put over here, and I like to use this to try out my stamps. So I'm just going to move this out of the way for now. Looks like we can use this block for our stamp. So and then doing what I always do, I'm just rubbing my fingers across the stamp, and it makes it very cloudy looking. When I flip the block over and I look at it, it just looks really cloudy on here. And so this is how I have been what you might call priming my stamp so that it works. And then I'm just going to slice one of these sides open with my paper snips, and so I have my ink here. So hi everybody, thanks for joining. So let's try out this stamp and just make sure we got a good stamp image on here, which it looks like we do. So there you have it. Happy Father's Day. Very nice. And then we will get our pieces back out so that we can play with the kit itself. And it looks like we will be doing some additional stamping. So I'm getting out the birds that we're going to need. And so let's just put these other stamps aside for now. And let's see, I have a smaller block here for these birds. And I'm just gonna rub my finger on there and get them ready for ink, like so. And then I'm going to use one of my ergonomic blocks here, and just rubbing my finger across these birds as well. This stamp itself, I don't know if you can see, but there's some little, it's really cut out, and there's some skinny edges. So sometimes when I rub on here, it feels like I'm moving my stamp around. So what I'm going to do, just because I want to make sure I have it in the right format, is I'm just going to put it back down on my mat and let it kind of reposition itself, and then stick it back on. That way I don't tamper with the image. The photopolymer images, they are very flexible and movable, and so you can distort the image if you don't have it laying flat. So I'm looking for my foam mat. Here we go. And so I got my foam mat out here, and we're going to do some stamping. All right, so happy Father's Day on this tag. And so very, very simple. And just trying to make sure I have it straight and as much in the center as possible. So just holding, letting the ink soak into the paper. Oh, very nice stamp image. It's very traditional font, you know, it just looks like a little bit like Times New Roman font size there. So very nice. All right, so going back to our instructions, looks like we're on the card base. We're gonna do some stamping of the birds. And so this side is the front. And as much as, you know, we're gonna make it just like this first one, but most of my other cards, I'm gonna put this on a different card base, just because I don't want to waste this. It's so beautiful that we can definitely take advantage of that. So we are going to do some stamping. We're going to put some birds here and some birds off here into the sunset. Now I am going to check my stamp before I put it down, just to make sure I have a nice image, which that looks good. And then let's check this one here, and make sure we have a good stamp. Very nice. So the birds are very nice. Like I said, not a lot of images here to play with, but the birds are nice. So let's go ahead and put them on to our card base. So looks like we're just doing one down here, like so, and then the bigger stamp of birds is going to go a little bit more to the right side of the card, but also kind of low here. So like so. All right. So that's what we have so far is our stamped images onto there. Now, I think the next thing it's asking us to do is to put some dimensionals on the back of here. All right, so we're going to put dimensionals on the back of there. And let's see here. We have this piece. Looks like it wants us to put some dimensionals down here. This is a vellum piece. So it must get covered up to a degree. So let's see here. And then looks like this piece also gets some dimensionals. Then this piece and this piece so interesting. In the image, this is like torn, but it doesn't tell us to tear it. So interesting. But this is that piece. Interesting. Okay. Well, I don't know. We might rough it up at the next time around. Okay, so these two are getting tear and tape down here. So let's go ahead and put our adhesive on where it's asking. So it says to put 3 dimensionals across here. So like so. And then 3 across here. So we are putting one down at the closest edge there, and then one kind of up here. Now on this one, it's calling for, I don't know why so many, but this is what it says, which I do not think is necessary, but that's what it's calling for. All right, so that's our dimensionals, and then we're going to put some tear and tape on these. Hey, Susan, thanks for joining. I appreciate you joining, hanging out, enjoying getting to see what this kit's all about. It's very pretty, lots of layers. So nice. I think it's going to be nice. So, all right, so here we go. Let's see what we got. So the first one it says to put down is this piece. And it looks like this piece is just going to go right there like that. Okay. And I think things are just going to layer right on top of all of these pieces. And you know what? I'm going to do my folds real quick before we get going. All right. So I'm just doing my score line. All right. I think I'll do better lining things up. All right, so this is just going absolutely at the bottom of the page. Like so. All right, so that's what you have so far. All right, then we are going to, next is this piece here. and it's going to go. Now I see that all those dimensionals just getting covered up. Here's the little edge. There's a little bit of a rough edge there. So maybe that's why it was referring to that in the image, but I can see here that has that. So we're gonna take off our tear and tape cover, and then this is just going right at the edge here. There we go. So there's that. You see the little edge there with the little rough kind of print? That's what we're seeing there. All right, the next piece that it has us putting on is this vellum piece, and that's going right here, like so. So I'm going to tear off this tear and tape, and that's going to go right down here. Like so. So there we have that, and you can see the dimension there, right? Pretty. All right, so the next thing is this last layer, and that's going to come in and go right here, and that's getting popped up. Now, this is where, you know, I'm going to tell you, like, potentially, if you don't line up your dimensionals properly, you may need to add some extra postage on to this card if you're going to mail it. Okay. And so that's the only thing about this. So I can see I have two dimensionals right here, just right on top of each other. So that right there will cause this card to require more postage. Now that I know what's happening, you could probably line it up better. And like I said, I don't know that that bottom one needs all those dimensionals, to be honest. And so that wouldn't necessarily be required, but it is very pretty with all the little layers and stuff. And then this piece here is going to go right above that last piece that we put on. So this has dimensionals. It's not going to go on top of that piece. It's just going on this layer right here. And I am just lining it up so it is straight there. So that is the first card. Like I said, super simple. There's not a lot to it if you make the cards that the kit is designed, but I do think there's so many options to do something different with these, especially with these colors. So beautiful, the colors are. And then this card has this gorgeous envelope to go with it. So you could easily put some birds on here if you wanted to use the envelopes that way. But absolutely beautiful. So that's our first card. Okay. So I'm going to set that aside and we'll dig into our second card. And this one has the printed sentiment. So there's no, doesn't appear to be, well, there's going to be a little bit of stamping, but just the small birds are getting stamped here because we have that other printed element that came in the kit. So we are not going to be doing a lot of stamping here. So we're just putting some birds up here in this area. And so just like so. I really am going to be excited to see what everybody creates from a alternate standpoint because these are the elements in here are absolutely beautiful. So really excited for that. All right, so I'm just going to burnish my edge here, and we have our card base. All right, so now this has a white piece here and our sentiment, which is smaller. Okay, so we're going to put some dimensionals on these first. So it just has one up here and one down here. And then this one gets one in the center at the top and the center at the bottom, like that. All right, then we have our tree piece here that's going to get some dimensionals. And again, like I am just following the instructions right now. But again, we do not need, I don't think we need all these dimensionals on here. So, but we're going to follow the instructions and see what we need. All right, so this piece is going in here, and it's calling for some dimensionals. 6 of them, it says here, and then right up here, like so. And then this piece is going to get tear and tape on it. So let's see what we get here. So just putting some of the tear and tape across here. And then it has it also up here, like so. All right. So now we can start to put our card together. So the first piece is this piece here, and this is going to go on just like so. Okay. And so let's just take these off. We have these beautiful card bases, and they're getting kind of covered. The vellum does let you see it through there, but there we go. Nice. So that's what we have first. All right. Then the item B is going to be, what is item B? I guess it's this piece. This is going on next. Yep, that's what it is. All right, so this is the next piece to go on. And again, just trying to line this up so well. There we go. All right, so we have that. Now that is that piece. I love the dimension in here. So nice. Okay, now we have this piece that's going to go on, and it's going to go right up against this edge here. So again, we're going to end up, I think, with double layers of dimensionals. And I think now that we know, you could be more strategic about it and not have them overlapping. So you can see there that I have them over. Like this is not. These are all laying down, but this right here is popping up. And so that's where the issue comes in. And that's really the only one, is that right there. You could easily fix that. Let me just move the one on the bottom. It doesn't need to be there. It could be up a little bit. And absolutely beautiful. And I love all the shadowing that the dimensions provide. Really just beautiful, beautiful cards. All right, so this is going to get layered on here like so first. So I want to straighten this up on my grid paper so I can just decide where this is going to go on here. I'm much better at just eyeballing these things. All right, so now that's going to go there. So again, this is where you could be better at lining up the dimensionals because they're just slightly overlapping there. All right, so let's see. This piece is going to go right on the card here. And it's kind of going in between this tree and this tree. So I'm just making sure I have it positioned as they do. So now I don't have any dimensionals overlapping there, just on that card piece. So that's this card. And sorry for the blurring there. I don't know why it does that sometimes. But it's trying to see, this is probably causing it an issue because it tries to focus on all these things with the matte. There we go. So that's our second card. Really pretty. Again, very, very simple. You can do so much, I think, with these. All right, so now we are on to our third card, and of course that card had another like gorgeous envelope that goes with it, and very, very fun. All right, so now we have our third card, and let's see here. We have a little bit of stamping to do on here. So we are going to need our foam mat and a different stamp. So it looks like we're going to use You Mean the World to Me. So we have that out, and I think that's the only stamp that we're using here. So again, I'm just going to rub my finger on here to get it ready to stamp a clear image, and this is just taking off the residue from the mold, basically getting the stamp out of the mold. All right, so let's just get our piece out here and our cardboard piece. And I actually love this font for this stamp. I really do like it. You Mean the World to Me. Nice. All right, so let's do that on the card base. And it looks like it's just going right in the silhouette of where the sun would be. on this card base. Okay, so let's just get that on here and put that down. Nice, beautiful, very pretty. I mean, honestly, this is pretty just by itself, I think, if you want a super simple card and no extra postage. Okay, so let's see the pieces we have here that we are going to be working with. So we have this piece that's going to get dimensionals. It looks like everything is getting dimensionals here. So we have this piece and then this piece here. So let's get our dimensionals, move that out of the way, see if we can manage the fuzzy images. So I'm just bringing this here, and then again, I do not think we need all of these, but doing the plan. And then, oh, what in the world? I don't know. People are just dimensional happy, I think, because crazy for all that. Okay, so the very first piece that we are going to put down is this piece here, and it's going to cover up all that pretty stuff. And so let's see here. So I did not, like I said, and you saw if you were here at the beginning, I did not open this, so I don't necessarily have a plan for any alternates at this time, but I was thinking maybe we would play around and just make one and see what we come up with while we're here, and have a little bit of time left. Okay, so this one's going down next. So we have that dimension there. I like I always love the shadowing that dimensionals give a card. And then this piece is going at the bottom here. And this one's getting many layers of dimensionals. So it just probably has 3 deep on the bottom here. And so you can see we are 3 dimensionals deep. So now this card is pretty thick. Now, granted, dimensionals smush down, but it would still require some extra postage. So pretty. Now, you can see here the placement of, you have to be careful on this because I can see my dimensional right there. I'm probably the only one that would notice it, but it is something to be careful about as you put them together. And so that is our third card, and it would go with this beautiful envelope here. And those are the cards that the kit is intended to design. Like I said, I think they are really beautiful. But I think they could be so much more. What do y'all think? Do you like them? Not your thing? It's really hard to tell. I think they are very nice, but I think we could do something more. So let's play around. Let's just see what we come up with, because I did grab some cardstock, just thinking, oh, maybe we'll get a chance to play with some of the items. So I do have some cardstock here that I pulled out, and I was thinking, yep, that's a piece we can use. And then I have a little bit of Lost Lagoon. There that we can use. And let's see. I even have, and I think it would be nice, is a little piece of silver, is what I am thinking about. So let's see what we got here. Just to see what we could do a little bit different than what we got initially. Okay, so I want to use this card base here and get my trimmer. And let's see what we got. So these are a little bit different. So this is the back. I think we'll use the back. And I'm going to trim this down. I had like a little layout that I was kind of playing around with, thinking about. So I have some white here as well. All right, so I'm going to, before I do that, I'm going to cut a piece of white. Oh, this trimmer's upside down. All right, so I want this piece to be for the inside. So I want 5 1/4 inches by 4. So that'll be for the inside layer. And then I want a piece that is, so 5 inches by 3 3/4 is what we're going to do. So there's that. All right, and then let's see here. So is that going to work? I think it might. Maybe we'll do something different. Okay, now I want to use the Lost Lagoon. I think I'm going to use the Lost Lagoon as my card base. So I'm going to score this. I think this piece is right. It's almost 4 1/4. Yep. Oh, we're short. All right, well, we're going to change. Then we'll use the black card base because that's the right size. Okay. All right, so we're going to use the black as the card base. And so let me do the score real quick while I have that planned. Okay. And then we're going to use the Lost Lagoon. And we are going to get a piece that is, so this was 5 by 3 3/4. So now I'm going to move this down to 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. Okay, and then that's going to go on to here like so. All right, so then I need the card base piece to be let's see, I want 1/8 in. So if this was what did I say, 3 1/4? Yeah, so I want 3 1/8. So let's see, what does 3 1/8 give me? It does get me part of this tree here. So I think that would be all right. Yeah, I think that'll work out fine. And then I don't have to trim any off of here. So 3 1/8, and then that was 4 1/2. So I want this to be, what I say, 4 1/4. No, 4 1/2. So I want this to be 4 3/8 here, like so. And so that piece is going to layer right on here with just a little tiny border around it. And then that's going to go on here like so, and onto the black card front like that. Okay. Absolutely. Yes, Wanda, finding tree stamps and all the things. And, you know, there are actually tree stamps in the Stampin' Up! Or Paper Pumpkin past kits that can be used. This can actually be used if we want it for our sentiment. Now, I am going to do something a little bit different here. I really do want to use the silver on here. I'm going to change up what my little plan is. So I want it to come across this. And so what is this measurement again? So 3 3/4. So I need a piece that is 3 3. So I'm going to just do 4. I'm just going to do 4. All right, so 4 inches by 3/4 of an inch. And this is never my strong suit, to be honest, but I want to cut a flag. And so we're going to just go for it. And then we are going to use this little piece here as well. For our sentiment. So what sentiment do I want? Let's do the happy birthday sentiment on here. So I think that looks pretty. All right, so we are going to need, how big is this stamp? So it's 1 1/2 inches. So I need at least 1 3/4. So I'm going to do 2 inches here, so I can cut a little bit of a flag on here as well. All right, so that is that piece. We have that little extra. So I am going to, let's see here if I can do this straight. Maybe I have a better chance. This is just going to be a very shallow flag. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. All right. So we're going to use that to stamp our sentiment on. I get this out of the way. Then on this one, I wanted to do also a flag on each end, but it can be deeper. Let's see here. I have it there and I cut up halfway there. Let's see. While I have it in my head, let me do this side as well. really, honestly, not my strongest suit. Doing these flags, I just would rather have the punch or a die cut. So, but it isn't perfect, but it'll be good enough. All right. If you have luck making flags like this, are you like me, challenged? Because I feel super challenged with it. All right, then I have I do have some white twine here. I was thinking I might have black, but the white is going to be just fine. We're going to use some white twine also, and when we put this together. So I'm going to set this aside and let's stamp our sentiment. So get our happy birthday out here. And I have this block handy, so I'm just going to get it ready, make sure we got a good image. And at least we'll have made one alternate, right? Just so you can see what the possibilities are. Because I do think there's a lot of possibilities here. And I just need a little extra, maybe a little sparkle or something, but nice happy birthday stamp. I do love the font with this. So let's do it on our little flag here. Right here. Just like so. Nice. Beautiful. Very nice. All right. So I think we can put our card together. Okay. And where is my insides? You know what? I'm going to put some birds on the inside just to have a little extra stuff. So put some birds here. And what was that other sentiment? To a wonderful man. I could go on the inside of a birthday card, right? So let's do it. And we'll make this all nice. Look at me, I'm not even going to test it. I'm just going to go for it. It's a beautiful font, don't you think? Look here. To a wonderful man. That's our inside. Okay. So we have I'm gonna trim off a little piece of this silver to put on the inside. Just a little 3/8 inch strip. To be honest, I don't know if this silver, it's like a matte finish. It is a foil, but it's not super shiny. And I'm not positive if it's in the catalog or not, or in the online store, but I found some scraps and I was like, oh, I like that. And so I put it over here in my stash for doing alternates. So Forgive me if that is not available. There we go. Straighten that up. But I like that. Just a little extra finish on here, and it'll match the front nicely. So put this on the inside of our card. Okay. I'm like, we're just right at 1 hour, so not too bad for not having a plan, right? Not too bad. All right, so that's that. All right, now we are going to do the layers here and get this put together. So I'm going to go ahead and put this piece down first on here. And I'm just wanting to put it on here in the middle. So looks like we got it pretty darn close. So, all right, then this piece is going to go right on top. With, again, just a teeny tiny little border around it, like so. And like that. So that's what we have there. All right. Then I am going to, we're going to add, I guess I can do this at the end. But I think this is going to go down here. I think we can put this on first before we do that. All right, so now we're going to put this onto here. I am loving this. I think it's going to be really pretty. I would enjoy sending this card to a male person in my family, for one. I love that. Okay. So now this is going to go across here, and I think I'm going to just bring it down a little, but it's just going to go across there like so. And I am going to put this on dimensionals, but I'm just going to put 2 on here. I don't feel like I need a lot. I just want enough dimension to lift it a little bit. All right. So I'm just lining that up like so. So there. I love the silver on here. And then this piece is going to go over here off to the side like that. And I'm just going to put a little glue right down the center here. And we're just going to make sure that's even, or centered, I guess, there. So that's what we have so far, right? All right. So now I wanted to do a bow for this. And I know man doesn't need a bow on his card, but I just like to have a little extra texture on the card. So I'm going to double it up. All right. And I think that's still. There we go. Like that. So I'm just going to trim these a bit. Someday I'm going to have like other people, ribbon scissors and paper scissors separate, but not today. All right, so this is just going to go kind of off to the side here, like that on here. And I'm just going to use a glue dot. And just going to put it right on there. And then roll that down under. And it's just going to go right there, like that. And that's our card. What do you think? You like it? Just a different way of using the card. So we have the card base here. That was like that. And we just did that. I just think it's just as much fun. And I hope you guys like that. So I'm looking forward to coming up with some additional layouts to bring to you guys later next week. And so we made our first alternate card. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are always so kind. So lots of fun. I think we have some good ideas that can come out of it. I also think we can bring it into some additional stamps and see what else we can come up with. But I really love the colors. I think that's my favorite part. Oh, thank you, Wanda. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody joining. And I guess if you are on my YouTube channel, I hope that you're will subscribe if you're not already. And if you are over on Facebook, leave me a comment. Let me know that you like the cards, and feel free to share this video. And I look forward to next week. We will make more alternates with the Mountain Majesties kit. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Bye, everybody.